Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the April 13th Town of Plastow Board of Selectmen meeting. Could we call the roll?
Chairwoman Liz Costa,
Present?
Vice Chair Bill Coy,
Here.
Selectman Jay DeRoche,
Here.
Selectman Jonathan Gifford,
Here.
Selectman Tyler Showman.
Here.
Okay, could we please rise for the pledge? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And do we have anybody for public comment?
Yes.
Come on up.
Good evening. Holly Patterson, 24 Brady Circle. Thankfully, I checked the agenda because I'm here today to speak about the two petitions that I'm the one who raised and got successfully on our ballot. And I'm a little perplexed that I had no outreach to say it was going to be discussed today.
Okay.
One would think, since I sponsored both and made the effort to get more than 25 signatures per, that somebody would have reached out. It actually dovetails quite nicely into the reason for the articles. There was discussion at deliberative that it was some sort of retaliatory endeavor, when in fact that was not the case. I served on a board of selectmen that had an administrator, not a manager, and it worked very well. It worked very well, and it put the 5 elected officials in control of what happened within the town. We do not have that today. That is why the article went on. And I successfully garnered enough signatures. So if there is an advisory committee, I would ask to be part of it. Secondly, the second petition that I sponsored was for the town hours in town hall. You have a population that works. Some people are local, some people are not. The existing hours set by our town administrator by fiat for somebody who also is not a resident locally does not give adequate coverage for those of us who work out of town. Again, I would, if it is truly advisory and this board is truly in transparency and the spirit of the petition, then I think that we need to delve in a bit deeper. I'm happy to do the hard work with the residents because there were people who were very vocal in supporting it.
Thank you.
Any questions about that?
No, but what I will say, that is my fault, and I will take the blame for not reaching out to you. I just put it on to start the initial conversation, and no way would I have excluded you from any of the committee work. Because that's how I roll. You were the petitioner, and when we have that conversation this evening, we'll see how that takes shape, and we'll get back to you.
Okay.
And that is, and I take responsibility for that.
And is the point of discussing it today, what is the purpose of discussing those two?
Just to get feelers on how we want to proceed.
Okay, I'll sit tight. Thank you.
Okay, any other members of the public? No. So now we're going to have a conversation about the highway truck discussion with Mr. Garlington and Mr. Rabito. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming in.
Unfortunately, we're here to bring you up to give you some information. We put some of it on paper, but in reference to the 2 6-wheeler internationals that we have currently, one's a 2016 and one's a 2010. Both of those trucks have seen quite a few repairs in their service times. And I think I gave you most of that information. But in order to put those trucks back into service where we can rely on them, there's a good amount of money that we'll have to invest to keep the trucks in service. The 2010, we already invested, what, $15,000 plus or minus $15,000 into a turbo and an air cooler for the turbo. And there's still a major skip to the engine, which most likely is an injector. So if you go through the process of repairing or replacing one injector, you might as well replace all of them. So you're looking at a good sized chunk of money. The 2016, it's burning or it's losing antifreeze and it's not on the ground. So Dana might be able to explain it a little better, but it's going somewhere else. So it's either being deposited into an aftermarket part of the truck or it's going out the exhaust pipe. Dana can speak a little bit, but we don't think that's the case. We think it's part of the EGR system.
Yeah, we've had long conversations with the people who repair it, and they believe it's the EGR coolers are leaking internally, but it can be more of a headache than that. Once they get in there, they could find head gas that's gone.
So I guess why we're here is to bring you up to speed on what the situation we are. We just had a really busy winter. And in both cases, we're very fortunate enough to have a backup truck, if you would. Our backup truck was the 2010. And at one point we went, the last 2 months of the winter where we didn't have a backup truck. And I know the first question or first comment is, well, do we have any mutual aid systems kind of like the fire department? The quick answer is absolutely not. Most towns, and especially towns around us, they're in the same boat we are. Very limited resources, and what resources that they do have are very, very, very expensive. And they're becoming more and more difficult to get people to plow snow. And a lot of it has to do with exactly why we're here. These trucks are not cheap to fix. And everything that has to do with your after treatment or your DEF fluid, if you would, is becoming more and more complicated and becoming more and more expensive to fix. So I learned early in my years that when I go into my boss's office, if I have a problem, I try to come in with a solution. So Dana and I reached out to a vendor that we've used for years and years and years, Howard P. Fairfield. They've been a vendor we've used as long as I've been with the town. And we sat down with them and said, what do we want? What can we get for a truck? How can we get a truck that's going to be maybe a little bit more reliable and not have that type of max force engine in it, which is junk, to be honest with you. And he gave us some numbers to replace the 2 trucks. I believe I gave those numbers to Greg and to you. Mm-hmm. So obviously we all know that funding is going to be a difficult situation. We didn't get the warrant article for the $100,000, so we need to work with what we already have in the capital reserve and then find a way to pay for the trucks moving forward. So my belief is that we lease purchase the trucks for 7 years.
And then at the end of the 7 years, we own it outright, right?
We own it,
like
yep.
a $1 buyout? Is that what it was?
Yeah, or we own it at that last payment. It's $1. We own it after. I verified that after we met. And
Yes.
So
So
I tried to break it down into options. And the options that you see in front of you are to lease 1 truck, lease 2 trucks, 7 years. And then the last option is to delay payments on 1 truck and delay payments on a second truck. I really don't think that's our way of going about it. I just think why would we want to defer and pay more interest on a truck or 2 trucks that we need. We can use the trucks and we just defer 1 year and it's going to cost us more money at the bottom end of it.
right.
So Those prices that you have in front of you are for a complete truck. They also include an extended warranty on the motor, the after treatment, the transmission. Help me out, D.
A chassis for 7, towing, Allison transmission and engine for 6 and 7.
So, and then once you get into your 7, 8, especially in the 9 years of service for these trucks, you got to really think about considering about replacing them. Because we've all heard the old saying, rode hard and put away wet. Well, that's exactly what happens. We ride these trucks, they're not what we call beat on, but they're not exactly out riding along the streets, just cruising. You know, and then when you have a winter like we had, and it takes a toll, and here we sit. There's one more factor, and that is the emission system. As we all know, the EPA is big on clean air. So back 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 13 years ago, they came out with a Tier 4 mandate on emissions. And when that happened, all this EGR stuff and all these requirements came into factor. Well, when that happened, the cost of the trucks went up roughly 25%. Just to put this stuff that reburns the nitrogen and the particles that's part of the exhaust to burn it off and make it cleaner air. Well, now in the next 2027 or 28, they're going to require Tier 5 emissions.
And is that more expensive? Yeah.
Well-
He's like, oh, yeah.
I would lean that way.
Yeah, probably not as big of a jump, but there'll be a
Okay.
jump.
All right.
So we purchased the 2023 International, right? 2023. We bought an HV International. We got a Cummins motor. Cummins has a reputation of putting out a good motor. Well, we can't get that motor anymore. So we don't want the International motor. We can't get the Cummins motor. So the trucks that we want to purchase will have a Detroit motor in them. So I think they come with a pretty fair and reputable name to the Detroit motor. And obviously we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know the ins and outs of what could go wrong, but I think we're getting a much better truck, and the truck is a little bit more versatile. We can use the truck a little bit more in the summer to do our shoulder gravels after we pave. And the other thing that we do now is we don't let these trucks idle as much as they used to. You know, when you get some downtime, we pull the trucks in the garage and we shut them off, which is the best thing you could ever do for a diesel engine is shut them off. Because most of them shut themselves off. So that's what I got. I'm here just to explain to you where we're at, getting any type of feedback or questions that you might have, and give me some direction, please.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm looking obviously at the repairs. Looks like, especially with 2016, they're pretty substantial, right? And then there's also, looks like there's rotting issues on both trucks.
The floorboards on the kind of rotted.
Yeah.
And then what the sand dig rates on the 2016 are rotten. So that would have to be replaced if you could even find those, right? You think
Yeah, that's if they're available.
So I look back in 2000, end of 23 into 24, we did the heads on the 2010, and it was $27,000. So if your EGRs are gone or your heads are gone, you're looking at at least a 20. That was back then. It's probably more than that right now. So you're looking at anywhere between a $30,000 and a $45,000 repair.
So you're looking then, if that's the case in the 2016, the repairs on that one alone would probably be over 100,000 or so. Possible.
Yep. And that's,
Could be.
and Dana can speak about it, but you go to ask for and try to get prices, and the first thing they're going to say, we can give you round numbers, we don't know. We go start turning wrenches on these trucks,
You don't know what's underneath.
anything can break. You
Yeah.
could break a bolt off and
So even before you get to that, I'm looking at just the repair cost between the 2010 and the 2016, starting to get fairly close to 100. Right, for both of those. That's if,
That would be
that's all there is, right? But the 2010, you'd still have the floorboards would still be rotten. That's not part of the cost to repair. You don't have anything on that.
It's one of the,
Yeah, that's one of, started taking apart when we tried to fix it. We fixed the bottom, then we put plates on the top, but it's rotten from the bottom back in again. So to take it apart, just open up a can of worms.
Now, do they take any trade-in value or anything?
they don't trade them in. We can't trade them in with this particular company. Your best bet is to try to sell them outright, get what you can for them. But as soon as they find out, it's going to have to be almost somebody that can do a lot of these repairs himself that are going to be able to make it worth buying these trucks. My hope is to be able to sell these two trucks for at least the cost of the extended warranties. That would be my hope and goal.
And the lease price, that's everything, right? Out the door, that includes the wing, the front plow, all that.
Everything.
Jay?
So I'm just looking at this, like, so the 2016, the all-in cost to do any repairs is around $60,000. And that's just if they start to get in there and open it up and
Nothing
see,
else.
right?
Nothing else.
The 2010, you're looking at like, just in these costs, $25K. It's a 16-year-old truck. I wouldn't, my opinion is I don't want to spend even $25,000 to put into it. It's throwing good money at bad.
We already did it once, Jay.
Right, we've already done it once. We fixed the body
We put
8 years
$280,000
ago,
into that
something
truck
like
at one
that.
point.
Yeah. So, but, you know, a couple of questions I have is, you know, I know with the capital improvement fund, I just got to go back and look at the existing language, but of when it was established, can we use that money for lease payments? Okay.
State law changed about 5 years ago, 2021, to clarify, but the cap reserves may be used as for lease and or debt payments as long as they are used for the equipment or what was intended
For that.
trust. So in this case, the highway equipment is made for, to replace trucks or help replace trucks, so that yes, it can be used towards lease payments for said trucks. And I did confirm that with legal counsel and with DRA over the last week or two.
So if we look at replacing two of these based on these numbers here, we're looking at adding either to the budget or trying to raise money through a warrant article every year, $103,000 to make the payment, right?
Correct.
And we can't outright buy it because we don't have $626,000 to buy the two trucks,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
There's approximately $180,000 in the highway equipment cap reserve.
That just gets us started.
Gets us one payment.
That would get you through the first year.
It'd be the first
And then
thing.
we either have to put it into increase the highway budget $100,000 to take on the payment, which we just got killed by winter,
Yeah.
blew that budget. It's going to be a tough decision to have to make. Is there any other opportunities, like grants? I know we got a grant a few years ago for
We were looking
the
at
fire truck, but
We
look,
Volkswagen.
I'm sure.
We looked
Sure you've
into
looked.
that. We looked into that,
yeah.
and it had to be a vehicle that was before 2009.
2009 or
Oh, we missed
earlier.
it by a year.
1 year, 2009 or earlier.
We did look for that.
And we also missed the deadline to apply for that.
Yeah. But we still wouldn't have got it.
Right.
Right,
And if we delay it 1 year, it's an extra.
$100,000 in.
Well, but if you
No,
do,
what's
If we
under
delay the payments a year, it's an extra $5,000 a year.
Right, but okay, we have the money in that account. This is just me thinking out loud. If you have the money in that account, you might as well use it to pay for the first year.
Right. But we also got to look at the CIP too and see what we were supposed to, were these on the CIP to be replaced at some
While
point
ago.
Years ago.
Yeah.
years ago? So these kept getting pushed out.
Yeah.
Yep. I think if I just look at it from just common theory, just looking at it, the goal was to raise and appropriate $100,000 each year to establish and maintain our capital reserve. So if you raise and appropriate $104,000 in your operating budget, you're almost establishing the same exact thing, but you already have your trucks. And then the next piece of equipment, which I know that's what you're going to ask, the next piece of equipment that would probably be up would be our front end loader. And Caterpillar, if we choose to go Caterpillar, if Dana chooses, whoever chooses to go Caterpillar, they have all kinds of lease programs. I mean, really good programs because they want the municipalities to have their product.
And how much longer do you think you have on that piece of equipment?
It's a 2016, so I'm going to guess another 8 years, 9 years. It all depends. It has the aftermarket, the afterburner, all that. We've already had a few issues with it. And some of that was the design, others was just, it happens. Again, we try to live and we try to learn with some of this stuff. So this winter we shut it off and put it inside. And is it a pain in the neck? It is. But we tried it to try to keep these. The other thing that we've done in the last 3 years is we've undercoated our trucks. We put a New Hampshire oil on our trucks to try to preserve some of the running equipment from rotting.
So talk a little bit about these two trucks. So the 2016 was our primary, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the 2010 was the backup.
Correct.
Okay.
And we have a 2023 that's.
And what exactly did these trucks do for the highway department? You just tell us a little bit about that. I know what they did. I'm just.
They
could you
were.
Talk a little bit about that.
They're a primary snow removal piece of equipment. They go out every time it snows. And then has a wing and a plow on it. So a lot of your main streets that we use, like Main Street, Westville Road, Pollard Road, Greeno Road, like the 2016 had that Greeno Road area, Cottonwood, all that.
Now, before the 16 went out of service, were you using both of them to maintain, to salt
During
and
the
sand
big
the roads
storms.
during big storms?
During the big storms, Dana would get the new guy, the new person would get into Dana's truck, do his route, and Dana would go in and he'd push back roads with the 2010. And he tried, and he tried everything to try to get that skip to come out of that engine, and it just we went up to the person that repairs our trucks, and he gave us some stuff to try. And
then outside of winter, what are they used for?
well, they haul gravel. We use them for street, when we go out street sweeping. These new trucks will be able to do shoulder gravel because they'll actually unload the salt right behind the cab of the truck. Off to, it's not in the middle of the truck, it's off to the driver's side. So we'll be able to modify it, build something to allow us to do our own shoulder gravel, which means we don't have to hire a Busby, or last year we borrowed Newton's truck, which is the same concept as what we're going to do. And it worked out pretty good. We're able to put our shoulder gravel down when we want to do it, not trying to shove it all into one day, and it
So
just
these
doesn't come
newer
out.
trucks have different features that allow us to do more.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And the biggest thing is we have had international trucks, and we've had Ford trucks for the 39 years I've been here. And I think it's time we try something a little bit more. I know the town of Fremont went they went with this type of truck. Theirs was a little bit more, they had a few more bells and whistles in theirs, but
What'd we spend in repairs last year on these two trucks roughly? Was it in the $30,000, $40,000 range? Just
Last year, we spent plus or minus 15,000 in 2016. And then the year before was the year we did all the work to the 2010. That was at $26,300, $27,000.
Right.
Well, if we can pay the first year with the lease, then you figure the maintenance on these and repairs
Will decrease.
should decrease, right? You would think, you would hope.
Yeah.
You know, so I kind of look at it that way too. So and I think what you'd have to do, it would have to go in the budget. Because you can't afford to have it not pass
Right.
once you have a contract signed. It's too bad the last couple of years that CIP didn't pass, or we'd be in a lot.
It goes further back than that, Bill.
Yeah,
It really does. And I sit here and I'm frustrated. Part of the frustration is that we were right on par with what we should have been, and it just
yeah, you planned.
It took
You planned
a-
for
Yeah.
it.
took a major hit, and I didn't have a whole lot of control of that, and it's sad. But that's why we're here. I guess we look at it, our job is to bring it to you guys, and you know why. And like I said, we like to come with some solutions, not just, this is what we got for problems.
And I appreciate that.
And I would think what do you figure? You can probably get maybe 9-10 years out of these trucks?
I hope so.
Obviously, it depends a lot on
Well,
what.
and some of the new things, some of the new habits, I don't know what you call it, we shut the trucks off. We bring them in. We undercoat them. The trucks will come with an undercoating on it. And, we have a guy that undercoats them every year, and we wash our trucks. We take care of our trucks. It's been a policy or an understanding from step one. I tell my guys, you get paid to wash these trucks. There's no reason why they shouldn't. And it's worked. Sometimes it works against us.
Little hard this year being so cold.
Yeah.
Mr. Colby, I know you're probably intimately involved with Dan and Dana on this. What's your thoughts, recommendations on how to proceed?
I mean, obviously Dan knows, his trucks, his equipment, and what the needs are, and I trust his judgment with this. So whatever decision that the board decides to make, will make it work. Certainly, there is, if the board decides to purchase and we go forward with a lease purchase, we do have one quote, but we'll look at, other companies to make sure that we have the best quote. But I trust Dan's judgment. So, and knowing the amount of money that, $120,000 minimum in repairs, I don't necessarily agree with throwing, the good money after bad either, when that can pay for a whole year's worth of.
Yeah, you almost think, well, if you get 100,000.
That was my
repairs, that
theology
pays for
on
one
it
year.
is you're gonna.
If we're
And then
paying,
there's money to
that.
pay for
And
another one.
if you
so
look,
it's
the
basically 2 years.
DD13 is a good freaking engine. So, I
And
mean,
the other thing you got to consider is if we go outside the lines and we decide that we're going to order a truck other than what Howard Fairfield has, we're looking at 18 months to get a truck. And by then, you're going to get tier 5 emissions.
right,
So can we look at other resources to lease it? Probably. Can we look at other resources to purchase the trucks? I think we're going to be limited.
So to purchase it, you're saying there's like an 18-month lead time?
Order.
To order it.
To order it, just to order.
Where
it.
these trucks, we could have 90 days to 120 days from now, we'll have those trucks. They're not going to be yellow, but
Could
it's
have
so
a paint
difficult.
party.
What's that?
Could have a paint party.
Yeah. I mean, if there's that big of an issue with it not being yellow, nowadays people have them wrapped. I've never done it, but it seems to be the up and coming thing.
To me, as long as it works, that's the main.
That's
thing.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, we have 2 white, 1 blue, and 3 yellow, right?
they go, they do their job,
Yeah.
and it's effective. That's what we need.
Is there, this quote expires at end of May. Is there time, are there other leasing companies that we could get quotes from just to get a comparison?
Not for these trucks.
So you're looking at a totally different truck.
No, you're gonna be looking at a time frame in which it's gonna take you to get the truck. What Howard Fairfield does is they call them turnkey trucks.
Okay, gotcha.
Howard Fairfield is owned by Alamo. So they have buying power like you read about. So they go out and they buy Nava, they buy Western Star, they buy Max. They stop buying internationals for obvious reasons. So, and then they build these trucks based on what other towns and they have a spot in their operations to put these trucks together.
So they look and see what the need of the community and
Exactly.
what is going on.
And what a lot of towns are doing. I mean, we're not, no pun intended, we're not recreating the wheel.
Right, we need to make a decision as well. Any other thoughts, questions?
No, I mean, I was fortunate enough, I sat down with Dan and Dana, so I had a lot of questions answered then. It's, I mean, obviously not plowing roads is not an option.
Not that I want to go with one, but can we get by with one? Probably not.
Could we? Yes. Should we? No.
Okay.
Because I think we'll end up going way backwards. Because then you're going to start over with all the extra tier stuff. You're going to end up you're going to have to fix one of the trucks you have now at least have somewhat of a spare truck.
And what's the life? You said 8 or 9 years we'll get out of them?
We're hoping.
Hoping to get more.
Yeah, hoping. We have 8 or 9 years like we just had? I don't think so. And it's not just the plowing, it's the frost heaves, it's the cold, it's just.
It's New England weather.
It is. Well, we all know that Mother Nature doesn't like me, so maybe things will change.
In my opinion, I don't know what everyone else thinks. I think we're looking at, we're going to have to do something with both these trucks. And I think this is the best option. So thanks for bringing this in to us with the lease. I think this is the best option. We obviously can't purchase them.
Right.
We don't even have the money to purchase one and lease one.
And if we wanted to fix both of them this year, we'd have to find almost $100,000 at minimum.
Right,
and
so.
That's a payment.
And so you look at it there, I go, you'd put 100,000 into repairs, that pays for 1 year. And who's to say it's not going to break down again over the winter? And then there's enough money in the CIP to take care of a year. So that's 2 years taken care of kind of right there, looking at it that way. Obviously, it's not something we want to do.
There's no way we can get a bond without having to go to town meeting, unless we do a special election or a special meeting.
Correct.
Would that be an option? Bond?
It would be an option.
But then it ties our hands if it fails, correct?
Yeah, and then we got to spend the money on an election and.
The other thing is, and you probably might have said to yourself, why is it 7 years? Well, 7 years is, unfortunately, is the life expectancy of a front row piece of equipment. It's not 10 years, it's not 20 years, it's not 15 years. It's 7 years. If you can have an extended warranty for the life of if you want to call it the life of that vehicle, it makes a lot of sense to me.
I say we bite the bullet. I mean, essentially with everything else that's going on, having two non-maintenance issued trucks would lighten a huge load off of everything.
Yeah, so,
That juggling, I don't think people understand all the stuff that goes on in the background when one of these trucks goes down. And you're
Let me ask you a question.
on a prayer that the other one isn't going to go down.
If the people that you're paying the money to fix these trucks tells you, please get rid of the trucks, think there's something to be said just with that fact alone. And I'll let Dana explain it. These guys up there have been super.
They'll sit on the phone with me for an hour trying to diagnose a truck or something. Just get it going good enough to get it up there.
So are you having issues now with getting it started to get it to where it needs to be repaired?
Well, the orange truck.
Yeah.
Burning antifreeze and.
Yeah, it's losing antifreeze and it's losing
Okay.
it internally to the motor.
All right.
So,
Which is never good.
then the other truck is. with
Check the gas,
injectors.
fill the antifreeze.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I'm looking at the warranty too for the engine's, what, 6 years, 100K, chassis, 7 years?
We're not going to hit 100,000 miles.
No. I'm more concerned with the years, so that's pretty
Yeah.
much kind of takes care of the
Years
years.
are enough.
Yeah.
And we should,
That's a standard industry type of warranty. I mean, whether you buy a Mac or you buy an International, you buy a Western Star, it's.
no, but it's better than like the 3 year.
Oh, yeah.
What I'm getting at.
Oh, definitely.
My opinion, I think we're looking, I would support the two for the lease.
Yeah, I'm for the
That's
two
where
for the lease. Because at this point, I think we're throwing good money into bad. If you need to call and have them tell you what they think it is so you can start it, and you're having antifreeze go into the motor, that's, to me, that's a big, I've driven cars like that, so.
So we're looking to take action tonight?
What's the pleasure of the board? Because
Well, I think,
we like to,
staying on the level 4 instead of waiting a year and getting to level 5, we're gonna have increased costs.
yeah,
And we're gonna lose money of the $100,000 that it's gonna take to piece these units together and still not have a reliable source. I think it's the best interest, and I had the opportunity to look up the DD13. It's a good engine. It's, I mean, obviously there's a lot of moving parts on it, but you get a good core engine on a
Been
truck.
around
and
for a
it's-
long time.
So that's
There's
my
so much
insight.
change
I mean, we'll have to dig and, cut and find paste
ways
to get it,
cut the
but
corners to get what we need.
same time, if we have another winter like we had this one next year,
Yeah,
those two trucks aren't gonna make it.
no,
No, and not plowing is not an option.
No.
yeah, safety. Anybody care to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion for the town manager to sign into the lease contract, for what we have in front of us for the 7-year term, which would be 7 payments. So I'd say put a price on it not to exceed 105,000 yearly.
Second?
And we have seconded?
Second.
Okay, Jay, seconded. Any other conversation, discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained, 500.
Can I put a caveat on that we do private sale and not put these things through
You can,
Do an auction? You want to go private, not an auction?
I think you'll find,
We'll try it.
I mean,
I
you
think
can
I
always
agree
try a
with you.
private sale. If it doesn't run through, then
Yeah.
you can put them up on the block. But I mean, if we can get the best reap on that, I'd rather go that way first.
I agree.
Is that added to the motion?
sure. Are you good with
Yeah,
it, Jay?
I'm good. We can add it.
We're gonna be taking a few things off of them anyway, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this price didn't include cutting edges because you can't get carbide edges right now, so.
Yeah. No, whatever you can salvage,
We
obviously.
might be
salvage.
stealing a couple carbide edges off of them, so. You guys have any other questions for me while I'm here?
No, thank you for bringing this to our attention.
I
and
appreciate your
just getting it
support.
Well, I don't know about thanking you for bringing it to us.
done. I know,
But thank you for doing all the work, the legwork
yeah.
to get all the information.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Next up, we're going to have a preliminary discussion of the two citizens petitions. One was for the town manager, going from town manager to the administrator. And the second citizens petition 2 was to require town employees to work on site and town offices to be open to serve its constituents. I thought we should have the initial conversation and to see how people would like to move forward with both of them. I've had a couple of taxpayers reach out to me saying that they wouldn't mind being on the CP1 if we choose to convene a committee for that. I don't know how other people are feeling, so I'd like to hear.
I think definitely for CP1, you definitely have to form a committee for that. Because some legwork has to be done. There's going to have to be looked into what kind of impact it would have to the town. And I would think, I don't know how many folks we'd want on that committee, but I would think you definitely would want the petitioner, at least one other citizen. I think maybe 2 from the selectmen, at least somebody from budget, I would think as well.
We would need the budget, petitioner, but someone from budget, 2 select board members, and a couple of citizens.
Well, we'd probably have to write some bylaws or something for that committee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some kind of language framework for them to work around.
But now a committee would definitely have to be formed on that one, I think.
Yes, so is anybody interested in possibly being on that committee?
What we should probably figure out is how many folks we want on the committee to start
Right.
Well,
and go from there.
could I just, so my opinion of this one, I wasn't in favor of it. But, the language around it wasn't binding, right? So
Correct.
the actual language to make it binding for a binding citizens petition wasn't put into place. And then someone put a motion to put advisory only on it. So when I look at the vote for that, it was pretty much split. Yes, there were yeses for people in favor of it, but it was pretty close. It was probably like 45, 55%, 55% yes, 45% no. My opinion is I wouldn't go any further with it, but that's just my opinion. I would leave it, but.
Well, that's why we're having that preliminary discussion.
Yeah.
Just to get it all out on the table. Anybody else have thoughts or?
And I'm just using round numbers. Those aren't
Correct.
actual.
Yes. And
Don't hold me to
we didn't
those.
What was it? We needed
45, 55%.
60 or something?
Yeah.
I'm still in favor of a committee.
Yeah,
And
just have the conversation.
Because I think it'd probably be good knowledge for us maybe to all understand exactly what the difference is.
Yep.
And what the citizens understand exactly what the difference is between the 2 forms of government.
And if there's a
See
couple
what would work.
citizens
That's,
already a couple citizens reaching out that are interested.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Right, and I agree with you, Bill, because I think there needs to be a conversation about what each form of government looks like. And, what the committee brings back and just presents to us as information.
Yeah, I tend to lean more towards Jay, but I think since it's garnished enough attention that we should move forward with something. I mean, but we're not Newton, we're not Atkinson, we have so much different infrastructure that it's not apples to apples with our neighbors, and I don't know that everybody in town understands that, so that's where I go. Let's move ahead with something that's open to.
Let's have a conversation.
And have a conversation.
Okay. Do I have anybody who'd be interested in being on this committee so we can start the framework of what
So if we're going to do it, how many How many we figuring members we want on the committee?
I would say at least two select board members I would be comfortable with. I don't know.
Well, we
what-
can't go more than two, so.
We can't go more than two. Budget committee, because we need to maybe look at some costs of what this will be. Holly.
I'm on the budget committee too, though, so remember that.
Correct.
Somebody else in addition.
Yes, so you would
Right.
be the petitioner, so you would automatically get the spot for the petitioner. And then I would say maybe two or three citizens.
I would say 3 just to keep an odd number.
To keep it the odd.
We can do 1.
So, maybe people who have been in town for a long time and who have experienced town administrator versus town manager. I'm sure that there are a couple of folks out there who, have lived in town and maybe want to sit on this committee. I don't know. Other people, I would say, send an email and let us know if you're interested. Give a call if you know any of us on the board. If you are interested in, let's get the ground rules going and what are we looking at actually? So do we have any takers for who'd like to be on this committee?
I can be on it.
All right,
I'll go with Bill.
and Tyler. So we have Bill and Tyler will be on this committee. All right.
Okay.
So we're good with that. So are we ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Any other comments or concerns for
So-
the first one?
What would be the end result? The committee would come back and present to the recommendation to the selectmen, or
Yeah,
present information, because we don't
information,
necessarily need to take action.
correct.
Right, that's all it would be, information to,
And I think it'd be good information for the taxpayers as well.
it's like, if you remember, they did it like with the school one a year ago, there was one
Yeah,
that was
the
advisory only.
Tax cap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so, yeah, he did a good job with that. Okay, so next is citizens petition 2, regards to town offices being open and employees to be working on site. This got a lot of yays, not a lot of nays. I think it was like 700 to 200 or something like that. I did not write the numbers down.
Pretty close.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think that this
This one-
definitely needs to be investigated and checked
Yes.
out and find some way to make it more palatable for the townies to get into the building on a more open basis. How that works out, I don't know. I don't know. Whatever happens with this, one of the people has to be HR, because there's way too many intricacies with contracts and
Yeah.
other things that are already implemented that we just can't change. So,
We also have the town clerk who can set her own hours. So.
right.
Yes. So I think that committee will have a different structure.
in the town clerk's office, Greg, how many employees are sitting in the town clerk's office right now? Is it?
2.
You get just the 2 in taxes, basically part-time.
Yes, that's correct.
And out of those 2, one of them is the town clerk, and she sets her own hours.
Right, so we
Yes.
can't change that. But we can request
We
to
could-
change that.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm sure
We can't mandate
I'm
that.
sure she'd be on board to talk about stuff.
Right. So I'd be happy to be on that one, and I'm sure.
Now, is
I don't mind.
town
being-
clerk is elected, the other town clerk official, is that a town employee, or that's an elected person, right?
Correct. The deputy clerk is a town
employee.
employee.
And that's managed by you, the town manager.
Correct.
All right, I don't mind being on that committee either. So I think there are a lot of moving parts with contracts. Again, Holly would be, she's the petitioner, she would sit on that. I would gather we would need a couple of select board members, budget again, because costs, and then a couple of employees and maybe a couple of taxpayers.
Yeah, you definitely want an employee involved.
Yeah, a couple of employees. It may be someone who is well-versed in the CBA that just passed, who works in the building, so that we are not violating any contract negotiations, which I'm sure you would, and if you would like to be part of that, because you are,
I can.
yeah. So I think that would be advisable. I don't know what other people think. Jay's thinking.
So it's 4, so 2 selectmen, a budget, the petitioner, 2 or 3
Couple,
citizens?
2 or 3 citizens and
Couple employees.
a couple of employees and possibly
and
Greg.
Greg.
Yeah, maybe 2 citizens.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you already have the petitioner.
Right.
That's
One petitioner, one budcon,
One
2
of the
select
3.
board, 2 residents, 2 employee, 1 town manager.
And I think the biggest thing with this
Just try
is
to keep it odd.
Exactly.
yeah,
when you're gonna have to sit down and look at the hours. That's really, it's
that's what,
they're gonna be, that's what the task is, and how they would, who would be able to
residents.
film, how they're gonna be able to film, is that gonna include, mean overtime, how
Yeah.
would that work?
Right.
I mean, obviously in the town clerk's office, I wouldn't want anyone to ever be in this building by themselves either.
Oh, absolutely not.
so are we good with that? And we would still need to build some parameters around what we're looking for as well, even though it's a little bit more black and white with this versus the first capital citizens petition.
Yeah, a lot of the subcommittees have bylaws. We could probably use that as a starting point.
Starting
and then
point.
I'm trying
add
to think, the
in.
one with the school, did we do bylaws for that one?
I can ask the superintendent.
See if we did one for that one.
Yeah, I'll reach out.
Because you want to have, obviously, some parameters or guidelines that you're working towards. So. And again, this is advisory only,
Right.
Yeah,
and the end result would be recommendations or information presented to the board to make a decision.
yes.
It's really just bringing the information, right? And
Right.
go from there.
Yeah, and then we, build from that and make our decisions. Any other comments, questions, concerns about this?
What's the time frame we're looking at to get these 2 things up and running?
Well, you definitely want to have everything done before the fall,
Yeah, so
right? Because
Before budget,
in case
yeah.
something has to,
we
before
need to
budget,
budget.
and plus if something has to go back on the ballot or something again. So you need plenty of time for that.
So I would say drop dead date would be like November 1st, because we have to have
To have everything done, I think you'd want it done before then.
before then,
I don't see why you can't have it done before then.
like October,
I think you can have it done before then.
September.
Yeah, I don't really see why you shouldn't be able to.
Right.
I mean, that's 5 months.
Oh, yeah, well, you're right.
Well, it's
You're
like-
right.
information.
Well, I'm just thinking,
It's not like it's a weekly meeting either. It'd be
right,
every
it
couple
would be
weeks,
like
once a
a
month.
couple weeks, a month.
You only need 2 or 3 meetings probably.
Yeah, and a lot of this information's already out there, right? The difference between the 2 forms of government, that information's out there.
Right. So maybe by September 15th, just to give a little bit of time to buffer,
Yeah, I
because we'll
know.
have to get some citizens and other people.
That's something we'd have to put out there who's interested.
Right.
Today's what, the 13th?
And the 27th
Of
for the next
April.
one.
If we can almost post something, see who might be interested for the citizens, if we can get that posted fairly quickly, I don't see why that can't all be done within a month.
So then we'll-
When's budget meeting?
May
May
5th.
5th. When?
5th,
Cinco de Mayo.
So that could be brought up at that meeting, see who might be interested to sit on.
On each committee.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can
So-
bring that up.
So I would hope that by a month from now, say May 15th.
We should have committees
should
table
have
with meetings.
We should know who's on
scheduled.
the committees.
Yep, and then we can schedule out. So I think it would be okay to say by the 15th of September, depending on who we can get for, because then the committee will be in play and we'll be looking at budgets as well as potential warrant articles.
Right.
Okay. All right, any other questions or concerns? All right. I think we're good to go. Thank you for coming and listening. All right. Next is master plan implementation. So this was sent to the board, this board and several committees as to which action items are ours and what are our lowest priority and what we've worked on and what are some of our high priorities still. I'm looking at some of this I was looking at, and we have some people in the water resources, which it says ongoing for collaborate with communities for,
The only ones we have to look at are the ones
that have us in
that
it.
have the Board of Selectmen on it.
Correct.
Those are the only ones.
And we also, I believe we have a lot in transportation as well. So they are looking for us to, what was it, Bill, to come back?
Yeah, and just kind of look at it, see if the wording looks good on everything and the target dates still look good. So if we want any of the wording change, we change some of the wording around. If the wording looks good and we have a target completion date when we want to have it done by, I think a lot of the stuff we're looking at is probably ongoing, a lot of it.
Maybe we just pull out the selectmen pieces, and then I know we were talking about having a workshop. Maybe we utilize that to
Yes, maybe.
maybe
do
split
it
up
on
the
that
work
date.
and talking about it.
Yeah, so
Idea.
I would be okay with that, just to do it and get it all taken care of. If everybody is in agreement with that.
Yeah, I don't think it's really gonna,
It's not gonna
it's not a real big heavy lift, I don't think, for us.
No, I think it will be
Looking at it, there's
maybe
maybe
half an hour.
10.
There's not much,
And then in the meantime, we can take a look at
what we want
your
and highlight.
nighttime reading.
Yes.
Yeah,
Go look at each section that's has ours and get familiar with it.
Yeah, when you're having trouble sleeping, this would be perfect.
Yep.
exactly. Yeah, all right, so we'll, map side, light reading until May. Next up is Memorial Day planning. Beth will help us organize, but she will not be there to coordinate.
It
So,
won't be Memorial Day without Beth.
I know, I know. So I believe the email that I had received, and I think, Bill, you were on that, Timberlane, the marching band is going to come as long as they step off at 9.
Yeah, because they usually have to go, they go to other towns as well.
Yeah, they go to other towns that day. We need to look at the speaking program. Are we able to get the march to Elm Street, like the parade? Does anybody want to help Beth with this and, maybe coordinate it the day of?
Yeah, I'm around, I can work with that.
All right. And then does anybody want to, like, we'll go down, you'll work with Beth to do all of the speaking program?
Yeah, we can get through that. It comes to
Paul's been speaking every year for a few years. Calvin's got a good handle on the prayer and
Yeah,
as the commander down at 34. And I know the Honor Guard and the Legion Riders are all on board because I've dealt with all of them because I did this with Beth for the last few years.
okay.
So most of this is all structurally
In
already
place.
in place.
it's pretty much, this is the format.
Right.
Yeah.
The question will be, do you want to say the same thing? I mean, you got the welcome and who wants to speak from the selectmen. I guess those really the only two things I think we
That
almost
really
got to
need
get
to-
figured out.
Yeah,
Other than that, it's just a matter of lining everything up.
all right. I'm more than happy to be the welcome if someone else wants to give the speech.
You're a funny gal. I was trying to get one of Paul's sons who just recently got out of the service to do
But
a
that's
speak, but he's not ready to do it this year.
Well, it takes time to be able to do something like that.
Well, if they fall in the shadows of their father, it should be pretty
It'd
easy.
be pretty easy, yes, but. All right. So we have that. Do we have any, are we all set with that? Yes. Approval of prior non-public session minutes. Do we have any?
We do have some.
Okay.
They're not in that folder. She's got them.
No, she has some. I was looking at something else.
I have 3. Can we do 3 tonight?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
We'll just-
Do we
Yes.
want Plastow
Take one, pass it
baseball
down.
players to march as well, like we have in past years?
Yep. Here you go, Bill. Take one and pass it.
Extra.
Just an extra sheet. Make a motion to approve the February 9th, 2026 minutes for non-public session 2 and to keep them sealed.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, opposed? Abstained.
Abstain.
And 401.
Yes, that was one of those. Thank you.
Okay, we need to,
Tyler abstained because he was absent.
yes.
Back down that way.
Yes, sir.
Pass it down.
Thank you. I make a motion on February 9th, 2026 non-public session, and keep them sealed.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Aye.
You abstained.
No, I
Oh, you are, oh, got
Aye.
it. Okay, you are.
I abstained.
There's always one.
Here you go, sir. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the March 30th, 2026 non-public session meeting minutes and to keep them sealed.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 500. Right. All right, so now we need to, we did that. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda, which is the Board of Selectmen draft minutes of 3/30/26. The second-hand dealer pawnbroker license renewals for Rockingham Trading, Village Coin, NASA, and Bull Moose. Application for a blind exemption. A certification of yield taxes assessed for tax year April 1st, 2025 to March 31st, 2026, 2 forms we needed to sign. An appointment to the Conservation Commission and the manifest.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda for April 13th, 26.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained, 500. Any 91A requests and action items? Great, town manager's report.
All right. As usual, last couple of weeks have been busy. Had meetings with department heads, police, fire, highway, working on, some of the issues at hand. Have been in contact with the town attorney on a couple of issues as well, legal in nature. Old Home Day, working on getting permits for the road race and the parade, as well as signing contracts, paying invoices. We're finalizing the union contract that was passed with Town Hall. Also have had discussions on groundwork for the new police department contract, which is up. So looking at negotiations starting probably June or so for next year.
Are you going to want any of us involved in that?
Yeah,
How
I'll
many?
take
2 of us probably? 2
is good considering the size of the union and, the ramifications of it. So,
All right,
Waste management contract has passed legal and has passed their legal as well, which I've given you a copy in your folders, but I'm planning on signing that tonight or tomorrow, and they will be picking that up. So we're putting this one to rest.
And we verified.
I have sent an email, but I did not see anything in the contract either. But before I will verify
That's
it.
the big
that's
piece.
a big one.
Yes. And before the rental
one
truck.
piece for the rental truck that we're not going to pay for it?
Right.
Just one of those, just to make sure.
I didn't hear rental truck.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that piece, sorry.
Have been, we've had been in touch and in contact with both Health Trust and Primex regarding either some programs or some insurance claims and the like, getting more information. Had the auditors here. I believe there were 4 of them last week on Thursday, which made it very good from the standpoint that we're still having some of those server issues and the system was slow, and it took me what felt like 2 hours to run needed reports while doing other things. So that is about it at this.
Is that problem solved yet?
No, it is not.
Okay.
They were working on it all last week over the weekend, and I have been communicating with them several times today. So
Do they have any idea where the bottleneck is?
no,
Do they know if it's a hardware issue or software? Do they even have that?
they have, suspicions, and they're trying different things to rule things out, whether it be there was thought that the VPN and the firewalls may have been causing the issue, but we're also in the midst of implementing new firewalls, but we haven't installed those yet. So they were redelivered back to my office from setting them up. So that may or may not happen on Friday, but they're trying to recreate and work through it. They've got, people are monitoring like the town clerk when she's on, and they're looking at system utilization in the background on their end to see, how things are processing, where the traffic is, trying to locate issues.
It's been a little frustrating, to say the least.
It has all the way around. Today, the program that the building inspector's office utilizes, they were not able to access that for most of the day until maybe 3:00 this afternoon because of some of the issues. So they seem to be popping up at random with different programs. So it's hard to nail it down. That's pretty much it.
That's it?
That's
Okay. Any selectmen reports? Mr. Shorman?
The toddler Easter egg hunt and the town Easter egg hunt went really well with rec. She had about 65 people for the toddler and over 200 kids for the town one. We lucked out with the weather. We had a rec commission meeting last week. The rec director did mention that they are still seeking a camp director for summer camp. The one that they thought was going to be coming back isn't able to now at this point. So that position she is still looking for, so a director for summer camp. I know she has some stuff planned for April vacation, 2 events that she has. You can sign up for those on my rec. We have a budget committee meeting on May 5th to do a reorg with that. I think that's about it.
Thank you. Mr. DeRoche?
I got nothing. Short and sweet.
Mr. Foy?
All right, attended planning board meeting, was just a workshop session.
Yep.
There's also a meeting Wednesday night this week for the planning board. I'll be in attendance for that. I attended the recreation meeting, the old home day meeting. The recreation, I did help out with an interview with one of the counselors, so I was there for that. Old home day, it looks like everything's going fairly well there, I'm sure. They've got the big event coming up this Saturday at the fishing game. I think the doors open at 6, is that right?
I believe so, 6 o'clock.
So 6 o'clock, it's only $10 a person. You have a band playing there that night, Time Bandit. And it's, a way to fundraise to try to keep the costs down for Old Home Day itself. So if you're looking for something to do Saturday night, I think that should be a good event, because I know they got a lot of things planned. They're really trying to get it going, as well as if there's anybody who owns a business in town, if you'd like to, throw a truck in the parade, it's nice advertising to get yourself out there. Or any groups out there want to do a float, that would be great. I attended the toddler Easter egg hunt on Friday, and I was also here Saturday for the regular Easter egg hunt. I thought Jacqueline was her first real big event. I thought everything went off really well. Everything was very smooth. Lucked out with the weather too. It rained on Thursday, rained on Sunday. So she squeezed that in. And Saturday night, I also attended the musical at the high school, Hadestown.
Good.
It was exceptional. I thought they did an unbelievable job. It's really amazing when you hear some of these kids singing, how much talent there actually really is in this district. So that was a good time. I'm glad I went. That's everything.
All right, Mr. Gifford?
Along with Bill, I attended the Easter egg on Saturday, which was a ball watching the kids. It's every year it is, but so much work goes up And then 2 minutes later, it's all gone.
9,000 eggs in 2.5 minutes.
9,000 eggs in 2 minutes. It's crazy. I didn't attend the old home day meeting, but I did get the memos, and everything seems like everything's right on track. There's a lot of energy in that group. They really are striving to get this up. And the key factor, I think Bill hit on it, if you got a small business,
Yeah.
you know, I don't care if you're a karate studio, if you're a dance studio, you know,
Landscape.
landscapes. There's so many opportunities to get out. And I know that some of the people in the car show, which typically don't fall over and roll in the parade this year, are interested in going in the parade.
Awesome.
So that's a good thing. I already covered my historical society from earlier in the month. And then tomorrow we have an elder affairs workshop here in town. So I'll be there. I think I have to check with Jim on a project I'm working
One
with
other thing
him.
we'll have to talk about too for Old Home Day is costumes.
Yes.
You gotta
Yeah.
get
Well,
ourselves-
I think we've already talked about it.
Yeah,
I think we
but
just have
just so
to
everybody's.
get
It's gonna be
everybody
here
on
before
board.
you know it. It's only 2 months away.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But Amazon's a wonderful tool.
Are we dressing up as Sesame Street?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the Cookie Monster.
What are you thinking for costumes?
Well,
1776.
All right.
because it's the 250th.
Okay, it's you four. I'm not here for that holiday, unfortunately.
We get one for Greg too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Musket and all.
I'm not sure I want to give Greg a musket.
Oh, my God.
But I know you sent the link about at one point.
Right.
Yeah, well-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can just, kind of talk.
Just so we all have,
An idea.
back then the Army was mismatched. There's no reason that we need to be uniformed in our.
Yeah.
I just think it would be more historically bound if it's.
More traditional.
Yeah, well, it's the 250th of the country.
Yeah.
Anything at the Historical Society? We can raid their closet.
I don't think you want to put iron in those closets.
All right. Events. Is there a tea for the Elder Affairs in May?
Yes,
Is
but
it
I
like May 6th?
Could I see that was full?
think it's full.
They
But
did like a Bridgerton theme.
yeah,
Yeah. So, all right.
I'll have to check into it.
Thanks. All right. Any other business? I believe we're going into non-public. Anybody want to call that out?
What are we going in on the?
L. Then
All right, so
personnel.
which one are we gonna do first?
Well, why don't we do L first and then come out
All right,
to,
all right, we'll make a motion to go into non-public. And those at RSA 91-A3 under L.
I'll second that.
okay, we have a motion, a second. Can you call the roll, Audrey?
Yes.
And we will not be coming back, so have a great week, everyone, and we'll see you back in a couple of weeks. Thank you.
Enjoy this Saturday.
Yes, come on out
Yeah.
and dance.
Beautiful day, and it'll be a great ending to the evening.
Yes.
Chair Costa,
Yes.
Vice Chair Coy,
Yes.
Selectman DeRoche,
Yes.
Selectman Gifford,
Yes.
and Selectman Showman.
Yes.